Alright, I know I'm a little late getting this one up, but we are moving on to Jaws 3, my personal favorite Jaws sequel. And I also did decide that I'm going to be doing like a little revisited video of Jaws: The Revenge to kind of cap off the series. Excuse me. Now, I don't think that this is the best Jaws sequel. I still think Jaws 2, in terms of quality and continuity and connective tissue from the first film, is the superior sequel. I think it is the best Jaws sequel. I don't think any of them come close to the quality of Steven Spielberg's horror masterpiece in the first Jaws film, but Jaws 2 serves as a really good sequel, and it's a good movie. I have my problems with Jaws 2. I have quite a few issues with Jaws 2, but it's a good movie. This one I don't even think is a good movie. I think that this is a guilty pleasure, and it's a damn good guilty pleasure film. Like I say, it doesn't feel like a proper Jaws film, and like it wasn't intended to be. But damn, this movie is so stupid and corny and fun, and I just love Jaws 3. It's my favorite sequel because of how awful it is. So we're gonna go ahead and look at the notebook here. I took some notes. I want to talk about the music. There are returning elements of the proper Jaws score from John Williams from the first two films, and there are, like I said, there are elements. I know John Williams didn't do the sequel to this movie. A guy by the name of, where is he? Alan Parker did the music here. And he didn't do too bad of a job. He added some new stuff and brought back returning elements of the Jaws score. So to kind of make it feel like a proper Jaws movie, even though there's a lot of things that would suggest that it's not, but whatever. The story is about SeaWorld pretty much being run by Dennis Quaid's Michael Brody, who does a better, infinitely better job as Michael Brody than the guy in Jaws 2. Infinitely better. But he's with Bess Armstrong, and they're into all the marine biology, and they run the SeaWorld, and one day a baby great white shark gets through a faulty sea gate and gets into the park, and the 35-foot mother shark happens to be around as well, trying to get her infant shark back, and raises hell in the SeaWorld, which is this is the weirdest layout to a SeaWorld that I have ever seen. There's no cages or gates or anything that blocks off each attraction from the other. It's like the entire SeaWorld is all connected. So when the big shark breaks in, when he eats the or when the big shark eats the diver that's trying to lock up the sea gate, it gets in, and then it has access to every attraction in the park, which that has to be the dumbest, most poorly thought out design for a theme park that I have ever seen. But it's what makes this movie fun and stupid. Actors, we got Dennis Quaid, we got Bess Armstrong, who I like Dennis Quaid quite a bit. And holy fuck, we got Louis Gossett Jr. Like, seriously, Louis Gossett Jr. is in this? Louis Gossett Jr. had just won an Oscar for An Officer and a Gentleman. So why would he opt to be in a film like this? Or maybe it was a contractual thing, I'm not sure. But yeah, we got Louis Gossett Jr., which is always a plus. And there's not any bad acting in this movie that I can remember. There was more bad acting in Jaws 2, if I recall. But, yeah, I think as a horror film, an animal horror film, a shark movie, this movie succeeds at being stupid and fun and having some good kills, I guess you could say. It lacks the suspense of the first film, and it lacks some of the enjoyable elements of Jaws 2. Well, actually, no, it does have a lot. I take that back. It does have a lot of enjoyable elements. Like I said, it doesn't feel like a proper Jaws film. Like, it's good to have Louis Gossett Jr. and Dennis Quaid in here, but a proper Jaws movie feels incomplete if it doesn't have Roy Scheider in it. Roy Scheider, I don't know. He just makes the first two Jaws movies amazing. I love Roy Scheider's. I love Roy Scheider as an actor, but yeah, a lot of the havoc that the shark wreaks in this movie, or reaps in this movie, reeks. Excuse me. I almost said reefs. Ocean pun. Yes. A lot of the havoc that the shark reaps in this movie ranges from being good from horror standards to stupid. Stupid as shit. There are some good scenes of people being eaten. I did like the scene of the diver locking up the sea gate to keep things from coming in and out, which, like I said, wouldn't be a problem if if each attraction didn't have access to one another, but whatever. The shark eats him, and I like the cheesy 3D effect of the arm floating in the water. It's dumb and cheesy, and there's two scenes of that. There's also the opening scene when he eats a fish. The shark eats a fish, and it just kind of looms there, and it's in slow motion and everything. It looks horrible, but it's like I said, it's got that guilty pleasure charm to it. The baby shark does eventually die, which angers the mother shark. And the part of the reason the fucking baby shark dies is because they put him in this pool that has 2 feet of water. It's 2 feet of water, and they're surprised that this baby great white shark has died. You're not even supposed to put great white sharks in captivity because they just die, but they put them in 2 feet of water. Like, how stupid are you to put a baby great white shark in captivity in 2 feet of water? It just, the logic here doesn't make any sense at all. I think my favorite scene in the movie, though, is those two guys that go on the little raft, and they're trying to steal coral, and it never actually explains why. I don't remember it explaining why they are trying to steal coral, but they get eaten by the shark. And then the funniest part to me is when the boat's just kind of sitting there, and then just out of nowhere the fucking raft explodes. That was fucking funny as shit. I loved that. Okay, where are we on the notes? One thing that always really did bug me about this movie, personally, is that you would think that the Brody family would just be done with water and marine biology and just the ocean in general. You think that, okay, at this point, after surviving 2 shark attacks, the Brody family would just be out of here. Like, oh, we're leaving. We're done. Bye. Packing up. We're going to go move to the fucking desert or something. But no, they kind of just stick around. It's almost like this family is asking to be eaten by sharks. This family, excuse me. This family is asking to be eaten by sharks. One of the biggest issues I have with the movie is the third act is weak as fuck in this movie. I like the shark a lot in this movie. I like how the shark has like this little nose thing where it does like this whenever it eats people. And there's a scene where he eats this like British diver who is all about killing the shark, and he swallows the shark whole, or the manhole rather, excuse me. That scene was fucking brutal. But the biggest problem with this movie is the third act is so weak, because I think like one person gets eaten throughout the entire third act. The rest of the time, like the guys out on the bumper boats and whatnot, one of them should have been eaten by the shark. And Sean Brody makes a return in this movie, and his girlfriend are actually out on the bumper boats in one scene, and the shark knocks them off the boats and just attacks the girl, his girlfriend. Just attacks her, doesn't eat her or nothing, just attacks her. And they take her off. And I think that was an opportunity where at least 2 of the bumper boat people should have been eaten. And there's also, as well, these Water skiers doing all these tricks that get what they wipe out and the sharks that they're swimming around. They should have been eaten. Instead, they all just swim back to shore. So I think there was definitely a missed opportunity. Oh, what should have happened if I would have done it when they go in the underwater attraction for the little aquarium area when they go underwater, the little underwater tunnel. If you've been to a big aquarium, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. I love aquariums and I love stuff like that. So that thing should have fucking broke, and half of those people should have been eaten, but nobody gets eaten. And I guess I can understand why they didn't do that, but that's what I would have done personally. Yeah, like I said, this movie just has a really, really, really weak third act. One person, like I said, gets eaten, and that's... I don't remember when the shark, and that awful, awful fucking shot of the shark smashing the glass. That was awful. It was supposed to be this fucking 3D effect, and it was awful. Kind of just chomps down, very brutally, might I add, on this like lab technician or something. And then that's when they blow the shark up, and it looks awful. God, it looks awful. And the dolphins, God, for whatever reason, the dolphins really pissed me off in this movie. I never understood why the dolphins really pissed me off. But all in all, Jaws 3 is an enjoyable, dumb, summer blockbuster shark movie. But it doesn't exactly succeed as like a proper Jaws movie. Nothing about this other than you get Michael Brody and Sean Brody feels like a Jaws movie. But it is my favorite sequel because I grew up watching this one on TV a lot. It doesn't have the perfection of the first film. It doesn't have the connective continuity that the second film brings from the first one. It just kind of... Well, I can understand why people hate Jaws 3. They think it's a piece of shit. I think it's a piece of shit. I just think that it's a funny... fun, dumb, stupid fucking piece of shit that I love. And I'm happy I own Jaws 3. So that's just my thoughts on Jaws 3. I'll probably do Jaws Revenge tomorrow or maybe even later tonight. I have not long watched Jaws the Revenge anyway as like a revisited because I did do it in the past. I will do it just to kind of complete my OCD wants to complete the Jaws franchise in this run here. So that's what I think about Jaws 3. What do you guys think about Jaws 3? Did you like Jaws 3? Did you not like it? I know there's a lot of people that don't like it, but thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'm out. Peace.